I'm a problem child from moment one.
Well, the biggest problem with you is I started contractions like at 5 o'clock in the morning. So like around 11 o'clock.
March 9th, right?
Mm-hmm. March 9th. We go to the hospital. We go to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, no, we think it's false. I'm like, and I'd already told my doctor that I was having you that weekend when I went in for my weekly checkup. He goes, no, we have you as like March 21st. 21st, yeah. And I'm like, nope, it's going to be this weekend. He goes, nah. And
here's Jacob.
So they sent me back home. Dad is trying to study for midterms or finals.
No, it was midterms. Yeah.
It was midterms. And
I had a study group over. I said, hey, look, can you guys come over here to study? Because I need to obviously.
I got a baby on the way.
Yeah. And
I'm not talking this one. That's talking
and so it was like 5 o'clock in the evening, and Mom's on the couch, going through a contraction, and so I get up from the table, and she's like, call the hospital. And I'm like, so I get the phone.
Well, because they sent me home
right, yeah. Because you said 5 in the morning, and then sometime between 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening, you were sent home, and you feel around 5 in the evening. All right, I need to go back. Yeah, let's get them on the phone.
And so I've got the phone, and I bend over, she's on the couch, to say, hey, and she just took me by the head. I said, call the goddamn hospital. And my poor little guys,
birth control 101 right here.
They're like, oh, what the hell?
So I put him on the head in a headlock.
Yeah. And so I'm talking to. I was like, yeah, she's ready. How do you know? I'm like, because I'm talking to you from a headlock position,
So this is actually kind of funny. For the Florida Man, shorts that we've been producing, there's a longer form episode that we're producing now. And this is one of the props that we've actually recently created, a little pregnancy brochure. And wanted to get your guys' take on how much this holds true. Again, it's just a little like kind of throwaway prop. So it's like meant to just kind of be funny if anyone actually like looks into it more. But, your life is over, but a new life begins. And then, whether it was planned, a tactical error, an act of God, I think in both cases, right, Josh and I were both planned, right? I mean, it wasn't like, oh, fuck, we gotta, or I know, like, we can get into that. I'm a birthday sex baby.
Yeah, your birthday. My birthday, baby.
But, so I guess planned in that sense.
Yeah,
but
I don't think planned. It was just.
We're ready and gonna be.
If it happens, it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, your stomach is now taking orders from a tiny demanding dictator. If you suddenly feel the overwhelming urge to consume pickled eggs dipped in marshmallow fluff at 3 a.m., just surrender. This is one of Dr. Goldwell's areas of expertise. And so try to make it somewhat legitimate. But
Valerie Winehouse.
Yeah. So Adam came up with Valerie, and then I was like, thought Amy Winehouse. Yeah. So,
but anyway... we get to the hospital. Your contractions, that you always hear on movies and TV shows.
Roughly like 6, 7 p.m., get to the hospital.
2 minutes apart,
Wait till you're 2 minutes apart. Even when I was pushing for you, you never got below 5 minutes.
Slow and steady wins the race. I've had that mantra since.
But I only pushed twice with you,
one.
And there you were.
Yeah.
And then you didn't scream, amazingly enough. They had, I don't know exactly what all the issues were.
I've made up for it since.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he didn't, he was a little delayed. You were a little delayed in breathing on your own, right? But you were still within the normal parameters, the acceptable parameters. But the anesthesiologist, that's why he's an anesthesiologist and not doing all this other stuff. He calls the code pink. Yeah. And then,
Because I was orange, right? Like,
well, no, because you weren't breathing on your own, right?
And the code pink is like a code blue for adults, but code pink is for babies.
Yeah. So everyone just rushed into mom's room, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
code pink, duh.
I mean, yeah, but then the next thing you know, I turn around and I have this lady right in my face. Would you like me to call a priest? Would you like me to call a priest? I'm like, wait. What the fuck is going on? Really?
So I was the holy one. They're like, we need
to
Jesus has been reborn. No.
Later on, my doctor did tell me when I went for a checkup later that he goes, I was this close to giving a sedative to your husband.
Yeah, when we had him over for Easter dinner.
No, that was the NICU doctor.
Oh,
we had
yeah,
over for dinner.
Yeah. But even he was the one who said that anesthesiologist.
I just prematurely called.
He fucked it.
So, great thing about you. We're in Wichita, Kansas.
Not a.
I was about to say, yeah.
We are in Wichita, Kansas. We'll never go back there. You want to go there? I'll give you the address, but I am never going back to Wichita. But the apartment that we lived in, it was a garden apartment. Your aunt worked at the hospital. She was
a medical technologist.
Medical technologist. So she was able to draw blood. So I never had to take you back up to the hospital.
As a matter of fact, here's, because I've got a, this is stuff they have to
give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, because Tracy absolutely told the hospital, all the workers, nurses, I do it. You're not doing that. I'm doing it.
Well, they did have issues, and then Tracy was finally the one.
She was flustered because they couldn't do the phlebotomy, all that stuff, and so Tracy was like, yeah. And here's the thing, she had to get stuff through the old noggin too. So
maybe that's
maybe she went a little too deep.
And so I was completely orange, not breathing.
You were jaundiced.
You were jaundiced, yeah.
And
the jaundice didn't show right away. It comes within a few hours of you being born.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, people much smarter than I, which is pretty much everyone, knows what jaundice is. But for, those select few, that's just another way of saying.
It typically comes with liver failure.
Okay. Yeah,
or the bilirubin.
Yeah, you're not the liver isn't producing what it needs to.
But again, what you boys don't know is that. Like, Josh was a tad bit jaundiced. And with each child, the more jaundice.